Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Healing Heart Moment. I'm your host, Dr. Susanna Clark. These past 3 weeks have been an awakening for America. She is finally being forced to face her racist and violent reflection in the still waters of a turbulent past. But first, to Mr. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Rayshard Brooks, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Renisha McBride, Philando Castile, and all the other beautiful souls of black folks murdered by the police. May you rest in power, all of you. Rest your weary heads on God's shoulders and be comforted while we continue the fight for justice in this world, a fight that has been going on for almost 500 years. How did we get here? In this moment of rage, in this long hour of protest, in this evolving door of perpetual violence against people of color, how did we get here? We all know the answer. But because of the determination to try and erase history rather than talk about it, the offenders are free to plead ignorance and claim innocence when black bodies are killed. No one wants to tell the ugly truth about how we got here. But here is part of the truth. Soon after the Civil War, after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and the surrender of the South, when that Emancipation Proclamation was signed into law outlawing slavery, there was a mandate that went out. Every white male was required to have a gun. Did you hear that important part? Required. It was illegal for anybody of color to carry a weapon. Also, because they were required to carry the gun, they were eventually deputized, meaning they were made into police officers by government entities, and they were given the full rights of absolute immunity, now today called qualified immunity. But to continue, they were given the full rights of absolute immunity to arrest, to kill, to lynch, beat, detain, and yes, to shoot and kill any newly freed black person for any reason. And it was done to protect corporate greed and political power. They were also given full authority to put our people, our ancestors, back in chains and then back into prison. Their job was to make this life unlivable. But it almost appears as if they've accomplished that. This was the origin of the police force, and to this day, black people continue to be killed for any reason by police, and we see this happening every day. For instance, eating while black, walking while black, jogging while black, watching TV in our own homes while black, sleeping, playing with a toy, coloring, flying, driving, sitting, talking, barbecuing, dancing, working, breathing, while black. All actions and any reactions. Police seem to find it necessary to kill black bodies just like their initial marching orders given to them over 400 years ago. Old habits die hard. but we are determined to stop this one. So-called police reform, I believe it's coming. As a society seems to be transitioning from this absolute immunity, now called qualified immunity, to reallocating funds into neighborhood improvements rather than inflated law enforcement budgets. But America has a lot of historical damages to repair. And she still has to deal with the ugly truth of her racist history. We have to deal with it, or we will find ourselves in this moment, in this uncomfortable moment, again. Something about this time seems different. Now, the world seems to want to see change and appears to be forming a unified front against the evils of racism, which is indeed a beautiful thing. I sincerely pray that the coalition gets stronger. There are multiple layers of racism, but I believe it drills down to one specific core: the conditioned belief that black bodies are not people. That mantra is both our beginning and our ending in this world. And if black bodies are not people, then by default, knowing that I can't breathe is exactly what I'm supposed to say. Being able to breathe means I am not just a body, but to the forces that have been conditioned to see just that, just a body, then saying I can't breathe gives them more power to keep killing us. They don't want black bodies to breathe. And so black bodies keep being killed for just existing. So what do we want? It's simple. What we want is to live peacefully among each other, comfortably among others, and equally within humanity. That's it. That's it. We just want to live. And to law enforcement or anyone else who only sees a black body rather than a human being, as we say, we just want to live just like you. I ask you this question: why is that so hard to accept? This has been another Healing Heart moment.